Hi everyone, we are Group 3 consultants who have been requested by Max to propose a plan for how to communicate the bad news that will soften the blow. We are going to be discussing the best solution for Max's layoff issue, which is the case of organizational restructure of 1/4 from its workforce, and recommend the best chosen plan to reduce the impact from the dramatical negative change. Our communication proposal will identify, first, the problem occurred from the layoff. Second, description of 3 main factors backed up by research. Third, best chosen evidence-based solution to minimize the blow. Massive layoffs can have a serious impact on employee job satisfaction and performance, as well as have a negative impact that can permanently damage the company's reputation and the recruitment of new employees, customers, and business partners in the future. In order to minimize the negative impact of Max's upcoming layoffs, our team believed that the problem should be resolved by focusing on the following 3 factors. Our team believed that the following 3 factors that will highly impact the company from the layoff are: first, discrimination; second, ethics; third, job satisfaction.
Hi, I'm Mimi. I'm going to explain the problem of leadership ethics. There is an important relationship between the impact of leadership ethics and employee behavior and outcomes, such as job satisfaction, organizational commitment, and deviating behavior, and intention to leave. Unethical leadership damages the bottom line of the organization, which have serious impacts and consequences. These consequences may damage within the organization, like higher employee turnover intentions, greater employee distress, and illegal behavior. And there are 3 reasons related to this. The first one is transformational leaders. They know how to control their leader motivations, so they know how to influence others and create change. Therefore, they may be a potential threat. Leaders may inspire people to make unethical decisions. For example, Adolf Hitler, who caused serious historical mistake by inspiring people wrongly. Because transformational leaders can influence others, leaders must act ethically. If the leaders start to have an impact on the followers, they must bear the moral responsibility, because every action of the leader relates to their future. The second one is unethical layoffs. Organizational layoffs are often needed to allow companies to survive crisis. They are not necessarily perceived as justified by everyone, especially when they affect a disproportionately large segment of workers. It's now well established that companies have applied downsizing strategies that are generally considered as unfair. They subsequently have to face some retaliation behaviors on part of some of the remaining workers who may feel less committed to the company and may deliberately work with less dedication. Trade unions may ask for wage increases and engage in repeated strikes. Consumers who may prefer to buy other companies' products, and governments who may reluctant to collaborate with the companies in bad repute. Even when downsizing is not a really question, the company may lose invaluable human capital. On the individual level, downsizing impacts some stakeholders who suffer in some way from experiencing, witnessing, or contacting a layoff. The employees falling victim to a layoff often become unemployed, and the meta-analytic studies have clearly demonstrated that decrease in their psychological and physical well-being. After re-employment, employees with past layoff experiences have also been found to report higher job insecurity and turnover intentions. For the employees who witnessed their colleagues' layoffs and the managers who implemented the layoff decisions, both remaining at the company, past research have similarly revealed increase in mental and physical health problems, job insecurity and turnover intentions, as well as decrease in job performance and commitment. Moreover, layoff agents have been found that distance themselves, physically and emotionally, from their layoff task and from the employee losing their job.
Discriminatory job loss is used to describe job losses which appear to be associated with racial and ethnic, age, or disability differences. In the layoff, females, people from lower socio-economic status, and minority groups account for a large proportion. This imbalance will be considered as the result of discrimination. An important reason of such imbalance is because of structural disadvantage. Women and ethnic minorities enter management ranks lately. They tend to occupy positions that are the least appreciated. Such discrimination is a moral violation that leads to a loss of trust, which affects not only the employees who are laid off, but also the women and minority groups who are still with the company. The consequences of discrimination were considered to be more serious than the symptoms of mental illness. The discriminatory job loss will reduce the quality of people's re-employment. About 40% of Australian employees said there was some form of discrimination at work. Under Australian legislation, discrimination in the workplace is considered a violation of human rights and anti-discrimination laws.
Hi everyone, I'm John from Group 3. Today, I'd like to talk about job satisfaction. Job satisfaction refers to the extent to which an employee feels self-motivated, content, satisfied with his job. There are many factors that can affect job satisfaction, including good salary, current growth, and so on. In math, this law should consider about job satisfaction because traditional job replaced by technology is a big problem in this company. This may cause the employee worry about their working environment and stability, increase the turnover rates of employee. The first research evidence is about emotional stability. According to Thomas and Juris, the emotional stability is positively related to job satisfaction. Good emotional stability can increase the job satisfaction that is positively to the company. The second research evidence is about film performance. The research shows job satisfaction is positively related to film performance. Last but not least, job dissatisfaction increases employer turnover rates, and high employer turnover rates is negative for a company.
Hi, I'm Jack. Back to what we have been discussed. Leader ethics and discrimination can influence each other, and both factors will lower the job satisfaction to employees. The first evidence we found there is a relationship between job satisfaction and leader ethical. Ethical leadership has been found to affect specific employees' outcomes, such as job satisfaction, organization commitment, ethical behavior, and job performance. Manager and organization behavior research has supported the idea that ethical leader has a positive influence on individual job satisfaction. Explanation of the influence of ethical leadership using social exchange theory, which shows on the screen. Unethical behavior in company has been paid attention by people recently. Due to the effect of COVID-19, a lot of employees lose their job. Lay off a large number of employees will be considered as unethical action. The second evidence I found job satisfaction is highly related with discrimination, and discrimination will affect well-being. Many studies have shown a relationship between health and job satisfaction. People who is lack of better physical and psychological health is most likely can feel the satisfaction of work. It's predictable that another research shows there are links between health and discrimination. In this case, 65% of layoff employees are women, and 55% layoff employees for minority group. This can be considered as discrimination. Finally, we found the leader ethics and discrimination are influence each other. A common example of female discrimination is pregnant women. Becoming a mother is a fundamental transitional time in women's life. However, it has been argued that women are disadvantaged in the course of their working life due to pregnancy, motherhood, and even potential motherhood. A study mentioned leader attitude will affect others' point of view. In this case, a pregnant woman brings her changing body, which can cause different response from other people in the organization. This shows an ethical leader who holds discrimination can influence other people in organization, may even lead to collective discrimination. In solution part, I list 3 actions that make company better off. Action 1 is to reorganize the team that criticize layoff. Action 2 is to provide job outplacement program, establish an internal labor foundation. Action 3 is to give respect to employees, give a reasonable explanation and receive notice from the direct supervisor. First, it is important to review decisions about who will be laid off and who will be retained. To avoid discrimination in layoff selection process, this includes a review of impact of layoff on employees in certain age, gender, race, and another protected categories, as well as making sure that the company has a good business justification for its determination as to who will be included in layoff and who will not. Moreover, if the decision-making teams are diversity, leaders cannot discriminate against anyone whatever they want to. Second, providing some type of outplacement assistance can keep things better amongst former employees and minimize the risk of future. There is a good example in 1997 to 1999. A company was going to shut down some production line, which means there will be 2,000 people will be laid off. In order to create a positive image of company in labor market and in the eyes of the public, they used this equation shown on screen to calculate each person's compensation packet. And they also create a labor foundation for their outplacement programs. The structure of their foundation shows on the screen. This can be used for Max creating their own foundation to help their own layoff employees. A lot of time, the employees not just looking for more money. The most important thing is the feeling of respect. Give a reasonable explanation and notice each of them by their direct supervisor is a good way to avoid emotional conflicts. Moreover, for employees who still stay in the company, past research have similarly received increase in mental and physical health problems, job insecurity, and turnover intention. Therefore, it is important to avoid they have a feeling of this company only treat them as a tool.